Well, the Cincinnati Bengals have really been struggling with getting defensive players signed and happy. Both defensive end positions in Shamar Stewart and Hendrickson want gone. Don't want to. Well, Shamar Stewart's not signing his deal. Trey Hendrickson wants to leave. He wants out. He said, if you're not going to pay me, send me away. And that's how we're going to start this rebuild. He's 30, so he's not great for Madden anyway. So if we just hit that trade away and we sell him to the highest bidder, now I am going to be somewhat realistic. Like that is a crazy amount, but I like this Arizona offer, but we're taking the second and the fourth out of it, and it's going to be Darius Robinson in a fifth. That's just a reality. He's not going to trade for a lot. And that gets rid of Trey Hendrickson. Now, the rest of the team, we got to figure out because this is a very mediocre defense. I did like a lot of the draft picks they had this year. Not the biggest Shamar Stewart fan, but Carter, big fan of. I'm pretty sure Demetrius Knight out of South Carolina, liked him a lot coming into the draft. I think they did really good with a lot of these guys. Like I said, outside of Shamar Stewart now, not even signing his deal is a little chaotic. They've really worked on this offensive line over the last couple of years. You have Gesicki. Chase Brown is starting to show that he can be, a really solid back in the NFL. And of course, you have your two top receivers that are paid a boatload of money. And we're starting out winning. 6-1 is, really good, especially for the overall that we are. Only an 82 overall. Cincinnati gets it done. Actually, Tee Higgins was already re-signed, so don't know why that's popping up. Now, as far as the rest of these guys go, everybody's 29 and 30. Actually, outside of these two, but they're low enough overall. We're not keeping them. All these guys can go. We got to hold on to our money. We got 3 guys paid in Jamar Chase, Tee Higgins, and Joe Burrow. Got to keep those guys around. The interior offensive line does not look like the thing to scout. So we're going to go with the defensive ends. We know we kind of need to replace Darius Robinson at some point, especially soon, unless he's just playing lights out. And it looks like Joe Burrow is, as he leads the league in passing. 1,900 yards, 20 touchdowns, only 3 picks. Rushing, Chase Brown doing okay. Receiving numbers, Tee Higgins looks great. Jamar Chase, they should both be at that 1,000-yard mark. Decent sack numbers. Defensively, Jermaine Pratt leading the way. Darius Robinson in TFLs, actually. And Barrett Carter in sacks. That is an interesting one. 2 picks for Logan Wilson, 1 for a couple others. And while we cruised through the season, especially through the first 11 weeks, as we went 11-1 during that time, we fell apart at the end. Turning around and going 5-1 after week 11, after the bye week, is a little tough. But we're still in the playoffs. Finished 11-6. Joe Burrow looks like an MVP front runner. 4,700 yards, 43 touchdowns, 7 picks. Chase Brown did all right, but hit that double-digit touchdown mark. Receiving 3,000-yard receivers. Jamar Chase, Tee Higgins, and Andre Yoshivas, all with 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns. Orlando Brown didn't do great. Jermaine Pratt led the way in tackles, of course. Darius Robinson in TFLs with 13, and Barrett Carter in sacks with 5. Shamar Stewart got a half a sack all year long. Logan Wilson with 4 picks. Not great interception numbers. Those sack numbers are terrible too. We might have to change the defensive playbooks. The offensive playbooks are definitely staying the same. We are in Cincinnati as we got to play Denver here. Now, they did beat us last time. We're just going to go to the end of the game. I'm hoping in the playoffs we have the experience to outlast them, and it doesn't look like we do, as our offense is failing us tremendously. I mean, both sides of the ball are failing us. We're trying to start a little comeback, though, as it is 23-28. Yeah, that's going to be game over. I sadly think we are going to get bumped out in the wild card round. We had such a dominant offensive year, and we just get bumped out by Bo Nix. Joe Burrow played a great game. Didn't do great rushing. Receiving, Jamar Chase, 136. I mean, we had 2 players with over 100 yards receiving. Didn't seem like our offense did much of anything. Darius Robinson had a sack. No interceptions. Terrible. Terrible game. Oh, and we have a DMV Super Bowl. Washington versus the Ravens. And Joe Burrow didn't get the MVP. We were on the Coach of the Year list. That means something. Offensive Player of the Year, no. Defensive Player of the Year, no. Offensive Rookie, no. Defensive Rookie, no. Best Quarterback, no. Best Running Back, no. Receiver, Jamar Chase does get. Offensive Lineman, we're on the list at least. Defensive Lineman, no. Linebacker, no. Defensive back, no. And Best Kicker, Evan McPherson's at 3. So, we have some people competing for awards, but nobody really winning any as we take a look at our dev traits. Tee Higgins does go up to Superstar Dev. That's a big jump. Nobody else on offense goes up. Defensively, did we have anybody go up? It doesn't look like we did. Everybody stays the same. And the Baltimore Ravens were able to take down the Washington Commanders in the DMV Bowl. Lamar Jackson winning the Super Bowl MVP. All right, well, we are not re-signing any of these players. The free agency wasn't very strong. Not just a lot of super old players in their late 30s. Now we are bringing one in Brandon Sheriff, but he's just going to be a plug and play 1-year piece. If we can get both these guys, we get Brandon Sheriff, we lose out on Asante Samuel Jr. I'm fine with that. We get an improvement on the offensive line. We plan on attacking that in the draft, I think, as well. We are at the draft, and my goal is to trade up. I can do it, and we get the 4th pick. Donnell Bonds, he is a top 5 talent. Left end, we need defensive end terribly. Ranked at 3, got him at 4. Hidden dev, the perfect pass rusher. We're going D-line again. Trey, I know he's listed as left end, but this is a defensive tackle. 6'6", 304. A little on the lighter end, but great strength. A round 1 talent. Going to put him on that defensive line. He's only normal dev, but defensive tackles develop. Right guard, just an offensive lineman. I know we brought in one. Ranked at 11. Normal dev. I'm not going to say we killed it because the latter end of the draft, once we hit round 4, was a disaster. But our first 3 picks were really good. Now, only 1 hidden dev in the whole draft. But we got, we just moved Portillo, however you want to say it, to defensive tackle. He goes up 2 overall. So we have a 78 overall, 77 overall, and a 76 overall are our first 3 picks. And I definitely think this is a big improvement on last year's team. Of course, we slide down at tight end, but the offensive line does improve. Receivers, running back, quarterback situation, they all stay the same. Defensively, our defensive line looks way better. You have Portillo in here to 77. He's DT1. Shamar Stewart got bumped to the right end spot. Bonds is going to take that left end spot. Hopefully he's a superstar X factor. The corners still look good. They're all young, developing. Our safeties are okay. And the linebacker core looks a little rough, little beat up, but 2 young players. Well, we got a lot of young players that just need to develop. And the only way to do that is time on the field. Hopefully they can get some stops, gain some XP, and we can win games. And of course, every time I talk about winning, we don't win. We're 3-4. It's not great. Jamar Chase hadn't gotten his contract. I don't know what it is, but we're going to make it that. That looks beautiful. Cam Taylor-Britt, I'd like you to stay. You're 26. Of course, Dax Hill we want to stay. 25, 80 overall. We need him climbing, though. Yeah, Shamar Stewart, you would be signed. Geno Stone, I don't really want to give a huge contract to, but something like that, 3 years. Demetrius Knight, you're developing for us. Now, you would have 2 years left on a rookie deal, so let's give him that. Barrett Carter, he's another one. He'd have 2 years left. he's not really developing, but he hasn't really been playing outside of somehow leading the team in sacks last year. And I'm not sure we're going to sign anybody else. Now, we are going to focus on bringing in at least these two. Joe Burrow looks good. Chase Brown, okay-ish. Tee Higgins and Jamar Chase lighten it up. Even Yoshavash for his second year in a row. Orlando Brown's the worst offensive lineman. Jermaine Pratt leading the team in tackles. Darius Robinson in TFLs again. And Donnell Bonds in sacks with 2. He's only got 2. That's pretty rough. Jermaine Pratt with 3 interceptions. Dax Hill with 1. I wonder why Donnell Bonds... I bet you he's not the rush right end or rush left end like he should be. That's probably what I'm most excited for. And no, he is. It's probably what I'm most excited for in this coming Madden is I can set somebody as an edge rusher. And that's what needs to happen for a lot of these guys. And now maybe, what are our defensive stats? Our defense is terrible. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're changing our defensive scheme. I think we're going to stay in the 4-3. I just think we're going to change to Pittsburgh's defense. That seems to be a good... Pittsburgh or Buffalo seem to be the best. I really need to mess with some other ones, but we're just going to go straight to Pittsburgh. I want stats. I want players developing. I want Donnell Bonds to get a Rookie of the Year from an insane amount of sacks that he's gotten. And we're just going to have to see how that playbook plays out, I should say. No pun intended there. As we get to the end of the year. Well, and year 2 did not go the way we wanted it to. We had some poorly timed injuries to some of our best players, and we missed out on the playoffs, coming in at the 8 seed. Cleveland was a shocker, 10-7. Just one of those down years you have. Joe Burrow, still a great year, but not his best ball. Chase Brown, again, I think we need a new running back. Receiving numbers, Yoshavash, he got hurt. Maybe if he wouldn't have, we would still have 3,000-yard receivers. Orlando Brown and Ted Karras just let up way too many sacks. Defensively, Jermaine Pratt led the way in tackles. Donnell Bonds in TFLs. Donnell Bonds in sacks with 14. Bring me Rookie of the Year and bring me a dev trait increase. 3 picks for Jermaine Pratt, 2 for Hill, 1 for Jordan Battle. And another Super Bowl we haven't really seen, Green Bay in Houston. I haven't seen that in Madden, I don't think, at least in a while. Joe Burrow isn't even on the MVP list. What's going on here? We're not going to be Coach of the Year either. Offensive Player of the Year, nobody on the list. Defensive Player of the Year, Donnell Bonds at 5. What a player. Offensive Rookie, Carl Rice. Don't even know who he is, but the Browns had 2 players that were incredible on their offense, as our tight end Whitehead did come in at 5. Defensive Rookie goes to Donnell Bonds. We knew that was coming. Joe Burrow's on the list. Chase Brown probably not going to be on the list here. Best receiver, Yoshavash is down there, but Tee Higgins nor Jamar Chase made the list. Best offensive lineman, no. Linebacker, probably not. Defensive back, are we? The Bengal, there's too many B's going on around here. Okay, Donnell Bonds is on the best defensive line. He's coming in at 3. Best defensive back, no. And best kicker, Tyler Loop there, no. Although I'm not really concerned with those award wins, as they can result in dev traits, but on offense, we have no dev ups. Robertson up to an 80 overall already. It's insane how fast he's developing. Donnell Bonds got the double jump. He's up to Superstar X Factor now. That's awesome. Nobody else on the team goes up or down. I'm okay with it just being him. And the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl. Jordan Love, your Super Bowl MVP. Let's see what kind of regression we had. I'm curious. I'm not going to let one player regress. I know that. Offensive side of the ball, nobody goes down. Nobody else goes up. Yeah, okay. I'm fine with that. We didn't have any regression. I was kind of hoping Portillo, he was one of those big guys that got hurt that I think really hurt us and affected our winning. But hopefully he can. Man, Bonds is already up to an 89 overall. I'm kind of curious. Did he get the double jump? When did he go up to superstar? Because he was star. Week 14, Defensive Player of the Week. He goes up to superstar, Dev. And then he gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't even think that's what bumped him. I think he just got it based on stats. We have started this rebuild off right. Now, I know it cost us some draft capital, but I think I got a way of us working with that this year. I think we're gonna trade out of the first round, especially since we'll have a middle of the pack pick. We're not gonna re-sign any of these people. Don't need to. We're gonna try to replace them. Drafting players is the way to go. We're just gonna see if we can get Tyler Linderbaum. We don't. All right. Well, we have pick 15, and we have a plan for that. We traded away a decent amount of them last year. We want picks this draft. All right, I think we're going to take this offer from Dallas, get pick 26, and then try to trade back again. I think we just collect picks right here. A lot of what we want is later. They just want to move up one spot there. I just want some second and third round picks. I mean, Cleveland offering another first is a future first and second and a fourth is a lot. Tampa Bay offering a first and a third. Man, I really like this from Houston. It's all this year. It really helps us this year. And we can trade back again. Dallas offering us a future first, a third, and a fifth this year. I think we're going to make another trade with Dallas and take advantage of them wanting to make moves now. All right, we're going Paul Myers. He's a round 1 to 2 talent. Somebody we're going to move within the offensive line somewhere. Ranked at 28, got him at 58. Hidden Dev. He's going to get moved around. Maybe a future left tackle. Right? We don't. I thought we got more second round picks than that. Now we have 3 third round picks. I'm really hoping. Okay, Amir Linder is here. He is who we're going after. Chase Brown's replacement. Ranked at 13. Normal Dev. You hate that, but maybe with a start, he can get a Rookie of the Year. This guy looks good. He's a round 3 to 4 talent. We're going to move him to right outside linebacker. He's hidden Dev. Going to tight end. Darren Weatherspoon. Ranked at 166. Normal Dev. I kind of knew it. I didn't feel good about it, but of positional needs, he was like right there with what we needed. Ricky Spearman. Ranked at 49. Normal Dev. Okay. Well, we got 2 now. Chase Brown's going to be on the move. You know, taking the only center on the board. We kind of need one. Cody Liley does not look good, is not good. That may be a mistake. Well, we definitely got some good players. The right guard looks good. Linder, 76 overall already. Looks good. Not that fast, surprisingly. Foster. All right, he's moved to right. I think he went down in overall. I don't know how, but okay. Darren Weatherspoon, not great. Ricky Spearman, 73 overall. He looks almost a little bit better than Linder. Liley wasn't great. Bass wasn't great. Nathan Morton, the punter, great. And then, everybody else, not so great. It's just going to be one of those drafts that we got a lot of picks. We filled a lot of positions. Players just got to develop, and, we just got to hope they do. All right, well, we received this trade offer for Chase Brown. Give us Hunter Henry for a year and a 6th-round pick. I am perfectly fine with it. We want our rookies in there, and we want them developing. Now, this is what the offensive line looks like. It's not a great look. Regressed a little bit, I'd say. But you got Hunter Henry in there, and we haven't even done our training camps or preseason or anything like that yet. So we are going to get to that. And 3-3. So, we're winning and losing. Doing a little bit of both. Got some players to re-sign. DJ Turner, I would like to keep for a little bit. Going to bump this deal up. See if we can keep him around. He's young. Got a good dev trait. Same with Jordan Battle. Young and has a good dev trait. Yashavash is going to be based upon
what his stats look like at the end of the year. If he has another one of those 1,000-yard seasons, he might get re-signed. Gearing up for year 4 and 5. You got to have this roster pretty much together and ready to compete for a Super Bowl. As Linder has gotten hurt, that is not great. Myers is a star dev and developing. Again, he's somebody we might push out to the left tackle next year. Right now, he's going to stay in at right guard. Defensively, we did have a dev trait. Foster is star dev. He's developing. That's awesome. We just need the rest of our players to, really step it up. We're not really top of the league in anything. Offensively or defensively, probably has a bit to do with our offensive line. Joe Burrow's getting a little bit worse. Linder, not great at all. Receiving, Yoshavash leading the way. Jamar Chase without a touchdown. You'll love that. Orlando Brown, of course, letting up the most sacks. Carlos Foster leading the way in tackles and in TFLs. Shamar Stewart in sacks. Donnell Bonds falling off a little bit. And not great interception numbers per usual. I'd really like to see us turn this thing around. And if this is for who I think it is, if we can get Linder this dev trait now, as long as it's for Linder, even if it's for Spearman, Kendall Milton? That is not who we wanted to get this. Kendall Milton's got a dev trait scenario. We're 7-4. We lead the division, so we are winning. So our offense has stepped it up. What is our new injury on the injury report? Linder is, okay, he's still out. And so is Ricky Spearman. Both rookie, you got to love it. Both rookie running backs hurt is great. That's probably why Kendall Milton got the dev trait. Or not, he hasn't gotten the dev trait, but got the scenario as we try to see if he actually gets it. You expected more, so he didn't get it. Well, obviously, he didn't get it. He's our third string running back. 10-7. We don't make the playoffs. We miss it. We're the 8 seed again. This has been the last 2 years. 8 seed, trying to figure it out. Not because of Joe Burrow. He's been great. Now, our rushing numbers were a bit all over the place, but that was because of injury. Linder got hurt. Spearman got hurt. Milton took over for a little bit. Yoshavash is going to get re-signed. 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, 3,000-yard receivers is great for us. Orlando Brown's finally leaving. Carlos Foster led the way in tackles. Donnell Bonds in TFLs and Bonds in sacks with 7. Sack numbers not as good this year. 3 picks for Geno Stone. Our defensive backs are finally starting to get some interceptions. I was just hoping we could, take it into the playoffs, figure out what this is about. And our division rivals are in the Super Bowl. Are we going to... Joe Burrow, second for MVP. Goes to Jordan Love, though. Not on the... Well, we are on the Coach of the Year list. Now, we're not going to be in the categories that I really wanted to be. Like, I really wanted Spearman or Linder to win Rookie of the Year. They're not going to get it. Foster's second for Defensive Rookie. Joe Burrow wins Best Quarterback, Best Running Back, not going to be on that list. Best Receiver, Yoshavash at 2, and Jamar Chase at 8. Offensive Lineman, the center, Cody Liley, playing good. Maybe we keep him. He's at 4th for Best Offensive Lineman. Best Defensive Lineman, not on the list. Best Linebacker, probably not. Best Defensive Back, no. And Best Kicker, still not on the list. So we had some players. Yoshavash, I think, has been the best receiver on the team since we started this rebuild, and he goes up in dev. So we're going to give him that. Defensively, Geno Stone goes up. Knight Jr. goes up in dev. Everybody else stays the same. But hey, that's a win in my book. Our division rival didn't win the Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles take down Baltimore. Jalen Hurts winning the MVP. All right, and I said we were going to pay Yoshavash. We'll give him a 3-year. We're going to bump up the money a good bit. He deserves it. He's been incredible for us, so go ahead and pay him. He stays. He's going to be our wide receiver 3. All right, 2 free agency targets. Elton Jenkins is going to make our offensive line way better. And Elijah Arroyo, just a tight end. We need one. And we get both of them. I have no idea where we're going to go. We have 2 first-round picks, though. Maybe we should have used that to trade up. And now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. But we're not going to, because there's a top 5 talent and a tight end. Isaiah Barker, He's a scheme fit. He's going to be great. You got to take the talent that's there. Hidden dev. Again, we had no idea. I had no idea what we were going to do. BJ Edwards, love the name. Don't know how good he is. He looks pretty good too. I think we're going to take BJ Edwards. I think we're going to move him to left tackle. Ranked at 39, got him at 18, but he's hidden dev, so he's going to be an immediate starter. Just, again, making this offensive line what it needs to be is goal number one. I'm taking DeAndre Carson. This guy looks pretty good. He's a middle linebacker. Might not keep him there. We might move him around, ranked at 32, hidden dev. Maybe we keep him a middle linebacker. We need one. He's not a scheme fit, but he'll do. We had the perfect draft at the perfect time. Wait until year 4. This is about one of the best times you can have one of these great drafts that just put you over the top. The top 5 talent tight end, Isaiah Barker, hidden dev, going to be insane, 88 speed. A right tackle that we need to move to left tackle. He's going to be a starter over there. The new center, Dave Morgan, DeAndre Kaysen, the middle linebacker. And boy, oh boy, do we have a team here. Look at all these rookies. The offensive line looks fantastic. Hopefully Linder can really thrive with these guys. Same with Joe Burrow and the rest of the offense. This is a great offensive line that is young and going to continue to develop. You know, Mims being arguably in the worst of positions because he is old and hasn't developed. You got Barker there, up to an 80 overall already. Defensively, we've got the right pieces in. Bonds switched up his X factors a little bit. I really still have yet to figure out if that changes anything in the sim. Shamar Stewart, Chris Jenkins, all those guys really, really dialed in. Kaysen, middle linebacker, already up to a 75 overall. He's not a scheme fit, but I think he's going to be one of those like superstar X Factor type guys. He looks incredible. We're geared up and ready to start winning games. This is the team that I think is going to be an easy, deep playoff, maybe even Super Bowl winning team. So we just got to get these guys in there and winning games. And apparently, I don't know what I was talking about because we're 3-4. We're going to turn it around. I have faith in us. We do have some players that we got to look at re-signing. Amarius Mims is one. He, of course, is going to catch a deal. Just because that's the reality of it. We don't have a lot of money. Chris Jenkins, I'd love for him to stay too. Again, it's just with this lack of money. Okay, so luckily we don't have a lot of people to re-sign. Demetrius Knight is going to be another one that, we're going to keep him around. Chris Jenkins, I think we really is the only other person we focus on keeping. Everybody else we can probably let walk away. Edwards, star dev. We don't know Morgan's yet. Barker is superstar X Factor, so we got one superstar X Factor in the draft already. Defensively, we don't know anybody's dev trait yet. We don't know Carson's. Bonds playing great. He's developed awesome. Yeah, I mean, we got some players. That's just what it boils down to on this offensive side of the football. Now, we know Joe Burrow is throwing a lot of touchdowns. He's stayed doing it. 17, 2 interceptions, pretty good. Linder is doing terrible. This is not a running team, I guess. A lot of different receivers and a lot of receiving yards. Jamar Chase leading the way. Tee Higgins right there. Yoshavash, of course, leading the way in touchdowns. Edwards not doing great. And we have no worries of not making the playoffs this year as we go 12-5. We did have some injuries, sadly, in the latter half of the year. Tee Higgins now hurt. Donnell got hurt. Joe Burrow looked like he had an incredible year. Almost 5,000 yards, 48 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Linder, he did okay. You just hope for better. 3,000-yard receivers. Yoshavash having an incredible year. The rookie Barker at 675 yards. Superstar X Factor. Our tackles were not great, but they our left tackle was a rookie. Yeah, Edwards is a rookie. Demetrius Knight leading the way in tackles on defense. Trey Portillo in TFLs and Donnell Bonds in sacks. He still was able to come back and be a top producer. 9.5. You'd hope for a little bit more, but hey, with this, he missed 7 weeks, I think, so that's okay.
Decent interception numbers, not nothing too terrible, really. I mean, we had an incredible run in the second half of the year. As well, at the midseason, we were 3-4. We went on. I mean, we lost one game in the second half of the year. Edwards is. I think we knew Edwards was star dev. We knew Barker was superstar X factor. Defensively, okay, so Kaysen is superstar dev. I had a feeling he was going to be one of those high dev players. He had the letter grades for it. Our defense is actually playing really well, top 10, except for in opponent rush yards. We're really in a fight for back-to-back Super Bowls. If we can get a Super Bowl today or this year, and then another Super Bowl in year 5, we're going to be right. I mean, it's a perfect rebuild as we go to the end of the game and see if our offense can just carry the weight of the game as we are up 14-0. Our defense seems to be doing pretty good too. 21-0 or 21-3, I'm sorry. 21-10, 28-10, 28-17. We get the win in the wild card round. Don't actually have to jump in there, as it looks like Joe Burrow had a really good day. 273, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Linder did okay. Not really. I say okay. He didn't really do great. Jamar Chase and Jermaine Burton, leading receivers. Barker had a touchdown. Kind of sack numbers did we have? Chris Jenkins with 2. Portillo with 1. Donnell Bonds with 1. And they had the solo interception. And in the divisional round, we have none other than a divisional opponent in the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson led. It's time to see. I think we split our games this year in the regular season. It's time to see if we can come out on top, as they do have the home field advantage. We have an overall advantage, but that doesn't always mean anything in the game of Madden, as they have a 14-0 lead. 21-0. Okay, we need our team to step it up here. What is our offense doing? We haven't scored a single point, and it's time for that to change. I'm going to just try to come out here on offense and get some stuff going with Jamar Chase, as Joe Burrow's only thrown for 106 yards. What have we been trying to run the ball? I mean, we're not really a run-heavy team by any means, as he just darts that at his offensive lineman, as Odafe Owe is celebrating like John Cena. Got a lot to try to do here, and they're just going to bring the blitz, and nobody's going to, yeah. I just struggle. I have struggled so much lately with you just can't get the ball off. All right, well, we didn't do any better, as that's going to be game over. We put up 0 points in the divisional round of the playoffs in year 4. What a great game out of Joe Burrow. I mean, we only threw the ball 21 times, too. 61%. How many times did we try to run the ball? Joe Burrow ran it 10 times. Our defense was terrible. We did not stop them. We had 1 sack, no interceptions. What a bad game. And we don't have a spot in. I mean, how are we not? Oh, well, we're at 5 for the MVP. Coach of the Year, probably on the list down there at 6. We are Offensive Player of the Year, Lamar. Defensive Player of the Year, not there. Offensive Rookie, Barker's at 6. Defensive Rookie, Kaysen is at 6. Best quarterback goes to Joe Burrow. Running back, we're not going to be there. Actually, we were on the list somehow. Receiver, Yoshavash, Jamar Chase, Tee Higgins, all 3 of them are on the list. Offensive lineman, Robertson is at 3. Like having one of those guys on the list. Nobody for D-line. Linebacker, I don't see us on the list. Defensive back, not there. And kicker goes to Evan McPherson. Had a great year in the regular season. Coming out into the divisional round of the playoffs and just not being able to move the ball, and then letting the Super Bowl be between a divisional opponent and the Minnesota Vikings. Don't feel good about that one. I think Baltimore is going to get their Super Bowl. So
we take a look at these dev traits. Nobody, Yoshavash goes up to superstar dev. Nobody else on offense goes up. Defensively, doesn't look like anybody goes up or down. Everybody stays the same. And the Minnesota Vikings and J.J. McCarthy are actually able to pull it off, getting what I believe is their first Super Bowl victory. We got $35 million. We got Donnell Bonds, 5th-year option. We're going to go ahead and accept that. Everybody else is walking. We don't need them. We're just going to target Kenneth Grant. Bring in an upgrade to Chris Jenkins, a second defensive tackle. Well, we're all the way back at pick 26. We're just going to go to it. There were a bunch of corners that I was kind of thinking, maybe we lean towards those guys. There's some safeties, but we still got some top 5 corners here. And I think Roman Burrows, he's top 5. He's 21, elite speed. I think he's coming to the team. Ranked at 2, got him at 26, hidden dev. A perfect pick. You just can't do better than that, I don't think. Bruce Babineau. Looks like a good middle linebacker. Ranked at 15, got him at 58, normal dev. I was just hoping maybe we can move Kaysen over. We're just going to be picking some guys. We need a running back. Jacoby Alexander wasn't it. All right, taking another corner here. Greg Gore. Maybe somebody we move back to that safety spot, ranked at 84. Hidden dev. He could be a safety. Still a really good draft. 78, 75, 71, 71. Really, really good draft. I'm not upset with that. The later round guys, not great. 4 players in the 70s, 2 in the mid to high 70s is actually really good. Bruce Babineau, maybe he gets a shot. Maybe we let him try to see the field, see how we can work him into the roster and onto the field. All right, well, we are in year 5. We're starting to notice some slight regression with, Tee Higgins, Yoshavash, some of those guys. Defensively, Geno Stone is starting to regress. Some of our corners, that's why we drafted Burrows and Gore. Linebacking core we've got kind of moved around. I'm excited to see how this plays. Brought in Kenneth Grant. Donnell Bonds is just getting better and better as time goes. So hopefully these guys can really put it together this year and we can actually make a playoff run. 5-2 is definitely the start we need to putting it together. That is the start. 88 overall, 91 offense. We're really, really, we're working on it. No offensive rookies with dev traits. Was pretty much a, defense. We don't know Burrows or Gore's dev trait yet, but they are both developing. Gore actually a little bit faster than Burrows. Joe Burrow, 22-1. Insane numbers. Rushing, Linder, doing okay. Take that back. He's doing terrible. Jamar Chase, lighting it up. 661, 11 touchdowns so far. He's killing it. Our pass blocking looks better. Babineau leading the way in tackles. Donnell Bonds in TFLs and Donnell Bonds in sacks. Only 3 right now. Like to see that number jump up a little bit. 2 picks for Turner, 1 for Babineau, and 1 for Jordan Battle. Not exactly the stats you like to see. Like to see better interceptions. Now, we would be in trouble here. We have $5 million and a lot of people to re-sign. They would just have to leave. Shamar Stewart, he didn't really do a lot for us anyway. Darren Robertson, luckily we have enough offensive line kind of in the background to not have to re-sign him. Portillo would probably hurt, but he also hasn't developed. And I'd say we have our best shot yet as we finally lead the AFC. 13-4, we have the 1 seed. Our team has been playing incredible. We've had a pile of weekly awards, if I remember correctly. Like Joe Burrow just got one. Joe Burrow. He had a little run there. And then Joe Burrow again. He seems to be a little streaky with his player of the weeks. Babineau, a sack and an interception week 3. Donnell Bonds and Joe Burrow week 1. You got some development, Everybody's playing good. Barker playing up to that 90 overall. Joe Burrow up to a 99. Jamar Chase is a 99. Linder's even playing up a little bit, even though he doesn't have a dev trait. Bonds is up to a 95, or playing up to a 95. Kaysen up to an 81. Babineau up to an 82. Portillo and Kenneth Grant, 86 and 85. Burrows is only star dev. We don't know Gore's yet, and I think we're going to take a look real quick. Now I'm gonna assume it's star. It's just the type of like the player build he is. Um, that's my assumption. Yeah, he's just a star dev. I mean, Joe Burrow, 5,100 yards, 53 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Linder, he's slowly getting better, but he's still not great. Receiving, Jamar Chase, 1,900 yards, 24 touchdowns, 1,000 for Yoshivas, 10 touchdowns. Tee Higgins almost breaking that 1,000-yard marker with 8 touchdowns. Barker had 7 touchdowns. Pretty decent pass blocking numbers, no double digits. Bruce Babineau only leading the way in tackles. Donnell Bonds and TFLs with 24 and Donnell Bonds and sacks with 9.5. You'd like to see him break that double-digit number, but it's all right. Babineau with 3 picks, DJ Turner with 3 picks, and Jordan Battle with 1. Kind of fell off on those interception numbers a little bit. What a year we had, and we have the bye week. First round bye, we are the 1 seed, so we get to start right in the divisional round where we have to play the Los Angeles Chargers. Hopefully, we don't have a moment this year like we did last where we don't score points in the playoffs. And of course, we have the home field. Okay, just don't listen to me, game. Go to the end of the game. See if our offense can put something together. We really need to win, and it looks like we start out with a lead, 7-3, 10-3. Can we keep it going? I hope we can. 13-3, 19-3, 26-3. Our defense has been spectacular. 26-11. That is going to end the game. We take down the Chargers. Okay, so we get a decent divisional round game. Doesn't look like Joe Burrow did all that well. Justin Herbert got hurt, apparently. That had to have helped us out a good bit. But yeah, Joe Burrow, not a great game. Linder with a rushing touchdown. Joe Burrow with a rushing touchdown. Spearman with a rushing touchdown. Receiving, Jamar Chase kind of led the way. Not kind of, he did. Defensively, Donnell Bonds had 5 sacks. That's insane. What an X factor. It's exactly what an X factor is, honestly. And DJ Turner with the interception. And we get both weekly awards. Joe Burrow didn't even really have that great of a game, honestly. But Donnell Bonds, 7 tackles, 5 sacks. Incredible. And in the AFC Championship game, we have to take on Jackson Dart and the Las Vegas Raiders. Good team. They have been doing some winning recently, and Jackson Dart has put up numbers. This is a team we got to be very careful with, and our defense really needs to make a stand. As we start out at 7-7, we recover from the turnover. 14-7, we have the lead right now. 21-7, 21-14. I see some turnovers going on, as we really need to be careful here. We're going to take this a little bit slower as our offense is driving. Joe Burrow is going to get sacked. Joe Burrow is going to get sacked again on back-to-back plays. He doesn't really care about getting sacked. Now, luckily, we have a good kicker. Make it a 7-point game. And I think we just got the ball back. Yeah, it was a turnover on downs. Couldn't figure out what was going on there. And they get the ball somehow in that. Yeah, it's not where you want them to start out. You really, I guess there had to have been a fumble or something as we get the ball back, and that should end it right there. We take down Las Vegas in a close one, 24-17. We threw the ball a lot, but Joe Burrow threw 3 interceptions. We also ran the ball a lot with Linder, who he didn't have a fumble. So I'm curious to what happened there. Maybe Joe Burrow threw a pick. Jamar Chase, 124 yards. They have Khalil Shakir as well, apparently. Tee Higgins with the receiving touchdown. Defensively, it looks like Kenneth Grant had 2 sacks. Dax Hill with a sack. Paul Brown with a sack. Kaysen with a sack. Shamar Stewart with a sack. None for Donnell, which is their superstar X Factor corner with 2 picks and another player with an interception. We had none. And Joe Burrow finally gets his MVP that he rightfully deserved. We also win Coach of the Year. Jamar Chase, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year. Bonds is on the list. Maybe if he had more sacks, he could have won it. Offensive rookie, no. Defensive rookie goes to Bruce Babineau, so we are going to get a dev trait there. Best quarterback, Joe Burrow. Best running back, we're not even on the list. We don't, actually, I think we are. Yeah, at 8. We don't deserve to be. Best receiver, of course, Jamar Chase. Best offensive lineman, Jenkins and Morgan on the list. Best defensive lineman are we. Donnell Bonds is at 7. Best linebacker, nobody. Best defensive back, nobody again. Our defensive backs did not develop the way we'd hope. And Evan McPherson did not make the list for best kicker, surprisingly. Now, we did have a pile of award wins there, so that is really cool. And hopefully that means we got some good dev traits. And looking on the offensive side of the ball, we got 0 dev traits. Nobody goes up, but nobody goes down. That's what you love to see. Linder staying the same. Defensively, Babineau goes up to superstar dev. That is exactly what we wanted to see and what we were hoping for. 2 superstars in the linebacker core, and then Donnell Bonds playing up to a 96 overall. He needs to be a game wrecker for us in the Super Bowl. And in the Super Bowl, we have to take on the Philadelphia Eagles in this huge game where we need the entire team to step up. This is both really good teams. We got to have our entire team step up as we go to the end of the game to see if we can get something going here. As we have a 7-3 lead, 7-10 they answer back. Can we do something? Let's get a 1-point lead, 14-13, 14-21, 21-21. We're going to slow it down a little bit here, as in the fourth quarter, it seems both teams have started ticking. And they are going to get a field goal, 1:45 left. We've got to score. We've got to at least get a field goal. Now, luckily, we can settle for a field goal. But, okay. It's not going great for us. As Zach Bond is not going to get blocked there, we've got to figure out a way to move the ball down the field. Now, they're not really going to let Jamar Chase get deep, I don't think. But we do have Yoshavash, and we are going to get to the 36 as we're going to run another similar play to this. Tee Higgins, and he drops that? He made that adjustment just to drop that? I thought that was about to be an insane play. Let's see what happens here. Let's get a little deep. And I don't know. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do when my players will not catch the ball. Now, these are supposed to be good football players, and we're selling on every front, as Yoshavash is the only player that's not going to sell for us as we get out of bounds at the 22. I'm thinking touchdown. We want to win this. We want to win this, as Jamar Chase is going to have his man beat, get pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line. There is 47 seconds left. It is 3rd and goal. We are going to hit him with a run here and walk into the end zone. We're going to go cover 6. Let's see if we can. Why is Case in the. And Donnell Bonds is going to get the sack. His first of the game. Comes at the best time, though. A.J. Brown is going to get a big play. We're going to continue. You know a pass is coming, so you go ahead and pass. Okay. Okay, that was insane. We're going to try to keep him. 2 seconds left. He keeps on taking off. I don't really know. I do know what to do about it. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we can do something here. 2 seconds left. Geno Stone pick. User pick. We just ended the game. Baited him out. Got the pick. We win the Super Bowl. Man, what a game. And Joe Burrow. I mean, both quarterbacks had really good games. You know, Jalen Hurts threw the interception at the end. Rushing wasn't really. Linder had 2 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts had 1. He killed it on the ground. Apparently, Tee Higgins had a rushing touchdown. Receiving, I mean, you had a lot of great receivers. Yoshivas with a touchdown. He was the only receiving touchdown that was had. Defensively, Paul Brown had a sack. Donnell Bonds had a sack. They got one with Titus Lawson, the rookie. And then, of course, Geno Stone with the solo interception that we had to end the game. And Joe Burrow is your Super Bowl MVP along with your NFL MVP. And now just to take a final look at the roster before we get out of here. Offense looks great. You know, we did a good enough job replacing offensive linemen, brought in a superstar X Factor tight end, didn't have to bring in a receiver. Running back, of course, was Defensively, brought in a superstar X Factor pass rusher, some superstar linebackers, other good linebackers. You know, we're working on the corner group. We brought in some good defensive linemen, and we killed it. And that's going to wrap this one up, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know in the comments what team you want to see next. And until next time, y'all have a good one.